Kim, what's it been like since you've been on campus and been a part of this team as far as just getting to know everybody and getting to know the system and everything?
No, it's been good. Having fun, competing with my teammates every day. Practicing pretty much every single day of the week, and really getting better is the goal for us, trying to get number 9, so just working hard every day.
You talk about getting to know the teammates. How have you guys been building the chemistry? We've been seeing the bowling stuff, but what other stuff are you guys doing to build that chemistry?
Really, we just, compete, play fives every day, might play video games, go to the mall, go eat together, stuff like that. So just finding anything outside of basketball to really build a bond is very important for the team.
Is there a certain player on the team that you've gotten closer with?
I would say Ortega the most, only because, I want to be, pretty much as good as a ones player as he is, so I try to play him as much as I can to, I would say, upgrade pretty much every basketball aspect that I can.
What about his game appeals to you?
Really, he's just strong, bro. He really knows how to attack a defense and the different gaps in the defense, so I kind of just try to pick up on any type of, play style that he may have that's not in my game and try to apply it to mine.
How would you describe your game right now and then where you want it to be maybe a year, 2 years down the line?
I would just say, three-point shooter, defender, really just a person who works hard and tries to outdo pretty much the opposing team. You could say anything that coach needs me to do, I'm willing to do it. So you can really label that as anything.
And how does your game right now fit into the system that Pope has? Because it seems like you're kind of a perfect fit. How does your game kind of fit into that? And what skills do you bring?
I would say, coach, he really needs shooters and defenders pretty much, and my prototype kind of is shooting and defending. So I would say I fit that category pretty good.
You kind of had that 3-and-D label. Do you embrace that, or is there stuff other to your game as well that you want to try and show off more while you're here at Kentucky?
I would say that I would embrace that role more because that's what's getting the attention that is being brought right now. So there's no point in really obviously I'm going to try to upgrade my game, but I would say what got me here, I'm going to stick to it.
Take us back to that your commitment. It was the morning of the NCAA tournament game. I think it caught a lot of people by surprise that you committed so early in the process. Just why was that the right time, and why was Kentucky the right fit?
I would say that I noticed that they have a lot of seniors and a lot of players that are leaving, and I know that I couldn't fit the play style that Coach Pope has, so I didn't want to waste no time and let other people kind of jump in my spot pretty much. So I really thought I could capitalize on that specific day.
You talk about being a defender. There's so many great defenders on this team. What's the capability that you guys have as a defensive team?
I feel like we can all switch 1 through 5. We got the guys to do it, and really coach emphasizes on playing hard defense and not really letting the offense kind of get what they want. So we just kind of disrupt what they're trying to do. They won't be able to mess with us for real.
Have you formed a chemistry defensively with anybody yet, where you're kind of getting to learn their tendencies and getting to know them pretty quickly?
I would say that I'm still getting to learn everybody, but I know that Malachi, he's a shot blocker, so I know that if I do end up getting beat off the dribble, I know he got me. So.
Are you guys kind of funneling people to him out there on the perimeter?
I wouldn't say that. I feel like everybody still try to guard their man, but if it does happen, I know Malachi got it.
Keep hearing that Mark Pope's offense. We've seen it. It's a little complicated, a little different. What's it been like trying to fit into that?
It's really not too much. It's really just playing basketball at the end of the day. They try to give us I would say different sets for us to really just play basketball. Because all in all, it really is just basketball. So.
Some of the guys last year said it was tough adjusting to the speed and volume that Coach Pope wanted them to get threes up with. That you literally had a green light basically as soon as you crossed half court. Has he been stressing that early, and have you noticed that? Do you envision something like that for you?
He has. I had a couple instances in practice where I didn't shoot it because I wanted to kind of slow the ball down. He got on me. We ain't gonna say what it was, but he told me to be confident and shoot the ball. That's what he brought me here for.
It looks like your dad's really embraced BBN. What has it been like seeing that and those interactions?
Really, everyone loves him. He's doing TikTok dances and reposting stuff on Twitter and all that. Well, I'm glad that he's building a bond with BBN early. And, we're going to need that because we only in July, still got a whole year ahead of us, so it's good.
Have you noticed kind of a difference in kind of BBN, the kind of culture that it is? It's bigger than a lot of schools, just kind of how everybody embraces you guys?
I remember whenever I committed, everybody was tagging me in different stuff on Instagram, Twitter, texting me a bunch of stuff. And I wasn't expecting that to happen, but it shows that they really care about their players a lot.
What was your perception of Kentucky basketball before you got here compared to now?
I would say that they sent the most players to the league, and my goal is to get to the NBA. So I really thought that coming here, it could really help me ease my end goal pretty much.
What was your perception of Mark Pope before you got here?
I really didn't know like how he was as a coach at first because I was still, in mid-season, pretty much at my old school. So I wasn't really paying attention that much. But now I see that he really is, relaxed, cares about his players a lot, loves his guys, and he wants us to be great.
There's TBT around the corner. Last year, their team did a bunch of stuff with them. How excited are you to do that? And is there maybe a certain player on that team that you're looking to maybe form a bond with and learn some things from?
I'm excited to play. A lot of ex-pros, you could say, some are still pros, some are not, but really just they're all great basketball players. And I don't really know everybody on the team, but I will find somebody that I can try to, pick up on habits that I can use in my game.
Who was your favorite player from Kentucky?
Look, I like Kobe, Kobe Bryant, because he can shoot the ball, and I really like how he fits the play style that's over here. So I really watched him a lot before I ended up coming over here.
You talked a little about coming in here and getting to know everybody and stuff, but how different was it conditioning-wise? Because this is a totally different than anything you did in AAU ball or high school.
The conditioning at first, it was a little difficult. I think I missed it like the first 2 weeks though, I ain't gonna lie. But the third one I did pass though, and I was so glad.
Dudes told you though, right? To be ready
they told me, but I didn't think it was gonna be like that. No, it was good though. First week.
Your thought process after you committed so early that you were the first one from the transfer class. What was your thought process as more guys jumped aboard and you kind of saw this team come together?
I would just say that I was, happy that I did it early because, like I said, I didn't want nobody to take my spot pretty much. But as I kept seeing more people kind of, start enrolling here, it was just something that, I seen that we could have built a great team here with the returning guys that are here. So, Coach Pope really built a great team to help us get to that number 9.
Cam, just how good a shooter are you?
I shoot every day, so I try to shoot my best. I don't really know a number, but I really just say I work hard a lot at shooting, so I feel like I'm a pretty good shooter.
So you think it'll surprise people when they see just how good a shooter you are?
Right. I would say that most people might kind of doubt, like the numbers or whatever, but I'm not really worried about the outside noise for real because I know what I'm capable of, so I'm going to just try to exceed my own expectations.
What are your thoughts now about being an SEC player?
I don't really label it as nothing like, SEC, ACC, whatever. I would just say that it's still basketball at the end of the day. I'm not going to try to make it bigger than what it is because that's whenever, doubt and fear and all that come in. So I just want to keep humble, confident, and know I'm good in my abilities.
But it has been touted as the toughest league, at least right now. What are your thoughts on that?
Like I said, it's still basketball, so I'm not really gonna try to put it on a higher pedestal than what it is. Because at the end of the day, it's something that I've been doing for 19 years, so I'm not gonna make it worse than what it is.
What's the process for getting up to speed with Mark Pope's system? What are some of the steps that you went through to understand how he coaches? What does he expect from you?
I would say us running harder in transition and stuff and really picking up on the knowledge that he's given us and learning kind of the day of that you learn, because if you take longer than a day or two to learn certain concepts, then you're going to fall behind from everybody else who's picking it up on it early. So really just being a student of the game is going to help you.
Have you learned anything from Mo already?
From Mo? I know how to dance bad. Mo's a terrible dancer. But
You weren't already?
No. I can do better TikToks than Mo, but Mo cannot dance at all.
What about on the basketball court? Have you learned anything from it?
Mo, he's really like Ortega. They're both strong guards, and if you're not there early, they go bump you. Whenever they're going in the lane. So I would say that their driving angles, those two are the ones that I'm trying to pick up on the most.
We've heard stories that, while he's watching you guys play, he's kind of rating the percentage chance of that being a basket if he were on the floor.
Mo's just Mo. He's one of a kind, special guy, but I love him as my brother, and we gotta work hard for his number 9 together.
Going back to not wanting to fall behind, obviously, how much are you leaning on Ortega, BG, Colin, Trent, guys who have been through this for a year and have seen Pope's system up close?
Ortega, he really been helping me the most because, like I said, he's a vet, or veteran to the team, so he kind of knows everything more than others. So if there's something that I am kind of questioning, I just ask him, and he helps me right then and there.
Any other players stood out as three-point shooters for you guys? And then what is the upside when it comes to your all three-point shooting this year?
Everyone said that Trent could shoot, but whenever I seen it in person, you really can't shoot. Him, Jasper, Jalen, everyone on the team could really shoot for real, but it's just kind of disguised because people might look at it like, oh, he's a big, he's a forward, and you don't think he can shoot, but everyone can really shoot. Mo can even shoot for real, but the numbers may say something different, but he can shoot the ball.
You mentioned Malachi blocking a lot of shots. What do you know about Jaden, and what do you think that's going to be like when he gets back at full speed?
Jacob, he's another shot blocker himself, but everyone's seen that last year, and obviously, recovering from that ACL injury. But I know when he gets back on the court, we're going to have two players that can really defend the goal for us.
How good will the team be defensively?
I would say, like I said earlier, we can switch 1 through 5, so we can guard everyone. BG can switch on the guard if we need to. Mo can guard 1 through 5 too. I feel like this team is going to be a better defensive team than last year's team.
So if we had to describe who was going to be the dogs, who we looking at?
Everybody on the team.
What's harder in practice, trying to get past Ortega or Muhammad on the dribble, or when you get into the paint and you got guys like Brennan and Malachi blocking shots?
I would say trying to drive past Mo and Ortega because if you can't go around them, you're not getting to the goals for them to block it. So, and like I said, they're both very strong. They probably both 225, 230, and they kind of burly. So. It's been difficult, but I'm trying to, find different ways to do it.
Obviously, Mo coming from the SEC and Ortega doing it last year. There's a lot of guys that look like them in the SEC.
Right.
It's not just football anymore. Basketball's really like that. So how are you expecting the transition from Tulane, a little bit of a smaller conference, maybe shorter guys, skinnier guys? How are you expecting that transition to go?
It's been going great so far. I'm really just finding different ways to kind of attack driving angles and different closeouts and stuff like that. Getting stronger, getting faster, because like you said, it is different competition in the SEC than the AAC. So, like I said, I'm just going to keep working hard and trying to be the best that I can.